This is English shorthand dictation number 132 and the dictation speed is 160 words per minute. Ready? Start. Honorable Chairperson, I am raising this calling attention because the flagship of Indian civil aviation has been turned red before the open eyes of the entire nation. Villains are those who are still there in the heart of the organization. Payment of salaries is not being made. But that is not the main issue. The main issue is that the national carrier is being dismantled gradually by the people. This is being dismantled by those who are there in power and those who are in charge. This is yet another untold story of an exposed nexus between politicians, bureaucrats, and unidentified players who wielded power in the corridor of state apparatus of the country. The major question is whether the merger has done the wrong. Many people objected to the merger. Even the management of Indian Airlines objected to it. At that time, the Indian Airlines was making profit. But after the merger, suddenly it started coming down. It has gone so low that it cannot pay wages to its employees. It has to depend on government dole even to pay for the oil bill. The second important question is why Air India turned red within 4 years and why the decline was so fast. Why was it shamelessly overlooked by the government? You asked me why the situation came about and you got the answer now. Why is there an unusual shopping spree? Initially, only 28 aircraft were sought to be purchased, but there was a change of guard. After that, 40 new aircraft were added to the list of purchase. In this way, 68 aircraft were purchased and most of the aircraft are very expensive and highly oil consuming. The general perception is that the more is the purchase, the greater is the booty. As a result, this heavy burden of unusual purchase has brought about the debacle. When the purchase was being made, the Boeing company defaulted in the supply of 30 aircraft and delivery has not taken place for 3 years. You can easily cancel the order and save crores of rupees. Not only that, you can ask for damage. Nothing is being done. What is the confidentiality for not cancelling the order? Let us know for whose benefit this is being done. This is not the full story. While new aircraft were being purchased, what is the flying time of the existing fleet? One aircraft flies 8 hours. You are a senior person in Parliament and you often travel by air. You know that if one aircraft is flying only for 8 hours, it is a shameful performance of the management. Normally, 12 to 13 hours is the time when break-even can be achieved. International standard is 19 hours a day. We are purchasing new aircraft, but our aircraft are not flying. For whom is purchase being made? Not only that, there is something more. When you are purchasing 68 aircraft, please explain why 8 aircraft are grounded. It is because spare parts cannot be purchased. Brand new aircraft are on ground because you cannot purchase the spare parts. You cannot fly because you do not have the infrastructure or the money to buy the oil. There was no due diligence done before the order for purchase of new aircraft was given. It is not just irregularity or non-performance. It is a total violation of the rule of governance in the country. I do not know whether I should laugh or cry at the ignorance of the management because they are completely insensitive to the problems of the people. The point that I would like to make is this. Why are the retired people being re-engaged at high salary when the Air India is in the red? Is it to form a coterie around the chairman? Secondly, why are you keeping foreign pilots when there are Indian pilots? I take this opportunity to compliment the women pilots of India who are doing so much better than male pilots. Nearly 100 female pilots have already joined. I am concluding with just 2 more points. Firstly, Air India is being looted by its guardians. Corruption is all pervasive and criminality is all around. The people who are responsible must be put on the dock. The turnaround cannot be done in piecemeal. It has to be at one go. Please bring about a radical surgery and give the money after that. Otherwise, it will be like a bottomless pit and money will go down the drain. Lastly, my friend from the other house gave me some papers. I want that the minister should not be a post box for receiving the complaints. He must act decisively. I know what you will say, but removing one man is not the solution. You have to change the entire management. Put the money at one go and monitor them, and ensure that the flagship of Indian aviation does not sink. Honorable members have voiced their concerns on various critical issues. Firstly, they said that illegal organ trade in the country has been a matter of great concern. The present bill seeks to address this issue. Further effective steps would be required to implement it in right earnest. Secondly, the experience shows that the poor are often exploited as donors for the rich recipients. They donate under compulsion of poverty. Therefore, the government should address this issue effectively. This was the demand of the honorable members. Some of the honorable members also requested to include uncle and aunt in the definition of near relatives to facilitate donation. There is a tremendous need for creating awareness to change the attitude of the general public towards organ donation. The honorable members also said that there is a need to incentivize organ donation and provide financial assistance for the transplantation of organ for the poor and the needy. I have said in the beginning that the main purpose of this act is to regulate the removal, storage and transplantation of the human organs for therapeutic purposes and to prevent commercial dealings in human organs. Despite having this act, the transplantation of human organs and tissues is yet to take off in a big way in this country. There are hundreds and thousands of people who are waiting for organ transplantation. This set of proposed amendments is an effort of this government to provide a new lease of life to the needy persons. The amendments would help the country immensely. I would now like to respond to some specific issues raised by honorable members. One of the honorable members has underlined the need to implement the recommendations of the Parliamentary Standing Committee in letter and spirit. I would like to inform this House that the Parliamentary Standing Committee has given very useful and constructive recommendations. I have already said that we have accepted all the recommendations and suggestions of the Honorable Committee. Some of these recommendations are being incorporated into the Act through this bill, while others will be addressed by making appropriate amendments in the rules and by issuing government instructions. Some other honorable members have asked why we have not included uncle and aunt in the definition of near relatives. I think my honorable friend quoted only the first part, but did not quote the concluding part, which I am going to state here. I would like to inform the August House that the Parliamentary Standing Committee examined this issue in great detail and agreed with the Ministry's view that the definition of near relatives need not be further expanded to include other relatives. However, it is pertinent to point out that the Act allows uncles and aunts to donate their organs to their relatives out of love and affection with the approval of Authorization Committee. So it is not that uncles and aunts are totally out. I would also like to inform the honorable members that we have not only increased the monetary penalty for contravention of the provisions of this Act, but we have also proposed to enhance the punishment from 5 to 10 years of imprisonment for persons involved in illegal commercial dealings. Many honorable members have raised the issue of the functions of Advisory Committee. I would like to assure the honorable members that these functions would be spelled out clearly in the rules. I completely agree with the suggestions of the honorable members regarding the need to scale up the activities across the country in a big way. The media will have to play a major role in this regard. Many speakers have underlined the need of establishing trauma centers on national highways to save the previous lives of accident victims. In this regard, I would like to inform the House that 18 such centers have already been constructed and they are operational in the country. Many more centers are being established. Keeping in view the requirement, some of these centers would be utilized as organ retrieval centers. I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to all the honorable members of Parliament, the state governments and the entire nation to rise to the occasion and create an atmosphere where each and every individual feels proud to donate his or her organs and tissues for the welfare of the mankind. Before I conclude, I would also like to express my gratitude to the honorable members of the Parliamentary Standing Committee and honorable members of this House who have made very useful and constructive suggestions to make this act a truly pro-people piece of legislation.